Welcome in YouTube. For today's video, I will be going over all the best loops that are unique to the map Toba Landing, starting with the main building here. As always, feel free to follow me on Twitch. I stream Dead by Daylight and other games Monday through Saturday, 5 o'clock Central Time. We would love to see you there in the chat, and we can talk all things looping together. Let's get started with the video. The first loop I'm going to go over is the main building of Toba Landing. The primary loop you want to work with is in this room right here. You chain this pallet to this window, and the way it works is you want to get a rotation that's like this. You're going to go around this pallet. You want to greet it as much as possible, vault this window, and now you read and react to the killer. Basically, for this situation, the killer will either go the window behind you, that way, or that way. 9 times out of 10, they're either going to vault this or go right here. Either direction, you could just push back this side right here, go inside again, greed this pallet as long as you have the distance to do so, and then chain it back to this window right here. Now, for the other option, which doesn't happen too often as killers want to go that way, you can push inside like this. Make sure you do your check spots right here and make sure the killer is committing and not trying to do some sort of weird mind game. Push back around into this window. After this window inevitably blocks up, you can choose to either drop that pallet, you can chain to a tile over there, you can go underneath and chain to that pallet. There's really so many options. Here's a custom chase example too. For the custom chase example, I'm going against Trapper, just a basic M1 killer. We're gonna vault the window. Let's see what he's gonna do. Okay, he decided to vault right there. I'm gonna show you alternate pathing. We're gonna go inside over here. Make sure he commits, and he does. Let's get another window vault. Looks like he's going around the far side. So now we're gonna push inward. Camera control is key inside this hallway. Make sure he does commit that way, and he does, and now we chain it back to the window again, and that's basically how that loop works. Back inside the main building, I want to show you another looping setup you can use. You have this window upstairs and this window. I recommend using both if you want to alternate and actually stay in the area. 9 times out of 10, you'll be on a generator like this, and then you'll get the notification the killer's coming. Once you see them commit to at least this platform right here is when you can execute the window vault like so. Now you have so many options of what you can do depending on what the killer does. If he vaults behind you or doubles back and goes all the way around, I can either chain it to this window over here. I can greed that pallet. I can go underneath and work this amazing god pallet underneath the main building. If I truly have enough distance, I can come back around over here, back up the stairs, and to force even more of a mind game, now we can chain it to this window. This is basically the second half of the main building loop, and let me show you a custom example of what it can look like for you. Custom chase example, going against an M1 killer, that being Trapper. Let's go ahead and commit to the window vault. It looks like he's gonna go around and drop over there. Let's work this downstairs pallet right here just a little bit. Looks like he is committing. Since we got good greed off of that and I lost chase, let's chain it to this window now, back inside the main building I taught you earlier. It looks like he went behind us the far side. Now we're gonna leave this loop entirely. I'm gonna chain it into the upstairs window now. That did not sound like good English, but we're going to continue on. We're going to keep going. Make sure he commits and doesn't double back. He does commit, and we make the fast vault. And that's a great example of how you can work the entirety of the main building to waste a lot of killer time. We are now in the back corner of the Toba Landing map, and I just want to show y'all a common layout you'll get. You'll typically get like a L-shaped wall like this with a window and a pallet nearby. Only looping one or the other is fine, but by chaining them both together and working the loop the way you want to work it, you can save yourself so much more time before you ever have to drop that pallet right there. If you just do a route like this, where you're kind of working like a figure 8 pattern, keeping the killer coming behind you, chaining to pallet and window, it forces the killer to respect 2 things, being the fast vault and the pallet, instead of just one or the other. So this is a pretty standard jungle gym right here. I have a window with a pallet that I can chain into like this. I can greed the pallet, keep the killer behind me, and vault. But the unique thing about Toba Landing is near these tiles, there's usually always like a pallet. And if you look over here, there's also a window I can chain to as well. So instead of just working like a typical jungle gym setup with a pallet and a window, why don't we try something like this? We go through the pallet, we get the window vault, we react to the killer. We'll say he goes around that side. I could just go inside like this, totally mix it up on him, figure 8 pattern, and now I chain it into this window. And look at how wide this structure is. He can't just go around and hit me super quickly. He does have to respect the pattern. Let me show y'all with the custom example right here. Here's the custom chase example. Trapper's behind me. Good camera control is key when it comes to these loops. Let's go inside right here and mix it up on him. I'm going to do a little bit of a mind game at the pallet and see. Make him respect it. We get the distance, and now we make the vault right there. He's going to miss. Just to show you how else this can work is you can keep going through. We're going to greed the pallet one more time back to this vault. Now I can panic for the example, go over here and get the pallets done. Just kind of showing y'all how you can work an entire setup like this on Toba Landing is key. So depending on the RNG you get on Toba Landing, you're going to get a setup like this. You'll know exactly what the crashed rover with the astronaut inside of it. The way you want to loop this unique structure, it's got a window right there and a pallet. A lot of people will probably only loop this side of the pallet, which is a bit more unsafe. Can't really have too much line of sight on the killer going this way. But if you go up this ramp right here and you drop off, you see how I don't get the stagger and I can just keep it going. I can chain it into this window right here. I can chain it back to this pallet and we can just keep it going. A lot of killers will try to swing off of this little platform fall, so be careful. But I just want to show you how much value you can get. And if you can keep killer attention here in the back corner of the map, that allows your team to take over the rest of the generators all across the other side of the map over there. Here's the custom chase example. We're going to start and go up here. I'll drop off this little ledge. Let me see if I can make it to the window in the time. I think I can. Looks like Trapper took a little bit of an early swing on us. We're going to go ahead and drop this pallet right here because I'm definitely not going to have enough time to make it anywhere else. Now, when you drop this pallet, if you come across this way, you have to be careful because the killer has a good angle they can take on you. Make sure you're hugging the outside wall, and now we're going to chain it into the main building right there to keep the loop going. So the way the filler pallets work on this map is there's definitely safe and unsafe ones. This is a more safe one right here. You can tell with the structure I'm able to see over the top of it. So as I'm greeting this pallet and working this way, I have a good line of sight on the killer the whole time before I have to inevitably drop this pallet right here. And then let me show you an example of what the unsafe ones look like and how you can play them. Make it over here to the unsafe pallet. As you can see, when I work around to greet it, it's a lot of ways for the killer to moonwalk and break line of sight with me, which can be good and bad, but for this situation, it's going to be more bad for sure because you're going to have less time to react when you drop this pallet. So whenever you're working these tall ones, be careful. I'm not saying you should pre-drop them, but just watch out for the mind games. The killer might moonwalk you and go for 50 hits on the other side and things like that. This is kind of a unique shaped jungle gym that I want to show y'all that can spawn on Toba. It looks like this. You have the pallet right here and the window right there. The way you want to start this loop is you want to come in from this side, whether it's inside right here, or if you're coming this way, inside like this. Definitely set yourself up for the fast vault. React with the killer. You're going to be kind of forming like alternate figure 8 patterns to go around the pallet this way, and it's always going to tie into that window over there. We're starting the loop. It looks like we're going to enter from this way. Let's vault the window, see what Trapper does. Looks like he's going to go inside right there, so I want to go around this way. We're going to make sure he commits behind, and he does. Greed the pallet, get to the window vault again. This time, make sure he's committing behind. He is. We're going to work just this wall alone. I'm waiting. I'm patient. I'm patient. We're going to get the pallets done now. And let's go ahead and just leave the tile entirely, and we'll chain it to a nearby filler pallet just like this for the example.